Where are we?
If yours does end up recording too, I have a backup going on mine, so.
Sweet. The way I'm recording is different this way. I'm not using my headset. So, I mean, if it's grabbing the audio completely, which is mine and yours from the mic, and it's grabbing all the sound. Once you separate the speaker and mic, Skype doesn't have everything. Like, it's weird. It's capturing the internal audio. However, the internal audio sent through a headset or Bluetooth, entirely different. Doesn't know how to pick it up. Yeah, so let me tell you, it was a lot of fun taking a 45-minute clip and barely sneaking away with 5 minutes. I think it was like 4 minutes and 10 seconds. It was pretty crazy. Just trying.
Well, it was like hilarious. It was hilarious at first. I played it through and everything, and I'm like, yo, if you're practicing editing, I'm like, dude, you got that shit on fucking point. But if you're like, I was like, I don't know if you're like just practicing just doing one person or what. I was like, okay, maybe that's how the format is going to be. And then you said something like on the next text back, and you're like, the audio clip didn't work. And I'm like, oh, gotcha. I was like, well, the fucking editing's still sick, yo. That was fucking clean as fuck. There was no transition marks, which is the key, you know?
Yep. There's only one that I couldn't undistinguish, and since it went under your RNS network, yeah, I'm pretty happy about it. I said the software was absolutely great. It wasn't kidding, and I probably used like the worst case scenario. I had to just make a 5-second video, shut off, just so I had a base clip to start pasting into, because it's a lot like Adobe in that sense. Like, you have to drop something in. It's a screen capture.
Yeah, you don't get to start with nothing.
Yeah, it's a screen capture program. So I literally just had a 5-second clip of me looking at the screen, and then from there I go to the video, copy clip, paste over, copy clip, paste over, cut little bits, some ahs, have to find rants where I can't tell you how much I couldn't use, because contextually there's just no. I'd have to record a whole nother video filling in your parts to make any of that, so much of the content useful. So, at the end, I wish I'd looked at it earlier. I'm like, oh, I don't have his blocks. Why don't I just look at my longer blocks? Because there's probably enough context in those. And there is, but no. It was funny. I was not upset with it.
The V1 was dropped. That's what mattered.
That's all.
I love it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was hilarious, you know. I like the fact that, yeah, you did everything right. Nope. Got a bunch of work ahead of you.
Nice try, bitches.
Bro, there's 2 times on that audio where I talk shit about having everything planned. Actually, I also I think the thing I like most about the clip entirely is I have no idea what the fuck we were talking about where I explained. And I can mix anything up. I can try real hard, no matter at all. So that went right to the beginning. And the funny part is, if we had any video transition or any music, that would have been the intro clip. It would have gone into like whatever that 30-second transition is of audio and visual, and I would have then jumped right into the rest of that 5-minute clip. And I couldn't imagine what that amount of production would, like how much that would affect the end product.
Well, that's what it is. Exactly. That's freaking hilarious. Building with Legos with one color yesterday, but
yeah, it was cool. I mean, it made it pretty clear what I could use and what I couldn't use right away.
That's fucking hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Hey, well, it made it there. Like I said, we're going to work on this and get this shit together. So it's like trying to make that happen. Kick on your avatar will load, and then you just set up your line in to go through him. And that's all it is.
That'll be fun. Is it
fucking cool?
Yeah. What program?
Yeah, it's really odd. Like the app starts out, it's like, you know, they used the app itself to build their own intro videos and everything. So it's like, starts out cute, little paperboy comes or new or whatever, and he's delivering something, and some lady throws this brain control thing on his head, and then it flips to your cam on your laptop or whatever. It's like, move your face to control him. So you start moving your face, dude starts moving with it. It's like, okay, now you're going to set, movements. You set movements for him, and it's like the next step. And now here's how you apply your face to one. It's like, okay.
That's pretty funny.
And that's where we stopped, because that was like 11:30 last night, and we needed full picture profiles for everyone. So I was like, okay, let's not do this at midnight.
Oh, wow. That's hilarious.
So convinced ourselves to go to bed so we can all wake up not looking like zombies, and then try to do pictures. get that done today.
I like that. I'm at the beach this morning, which is weird. It's not really a beach, obviously. Apparently, it's a rocky beach. It's a lake, but it's got sand.
Salt Lake?
Yeah.
It was the real Salt Lake, or was it a different one?
It's 45 minutes away, so it's probably some random place. Yeah, that would actually be cool. It hadn't been
weird salt marshes or some shit out there. I remember traveling through in the back of that bus.
I would imagine.
Holy shit, Utah.
Yeah. I've been trying my best to help Caitlin figure me out, and there's been some a fairly fun one. The simple concept, like, I'm really drained. I'm jet lagged. I'm very, very just bandwidth is tapped between being in a new house, a new situation, and just Evelyn and her now eating up my bandwidth. Halfway through the day, I was just not numb, but I always have an urge that I need to be getting something done. However, my mind is not capable of just giving me those answers, and people can just wipe my mind as well. And earlier in the morning, I'm just like, I think I know the part I want to play most and where I can be responsible. I know where I can be tapped in, and just trying to explain, like, look, if you need help, you just need to tell me the thing that you need done. You can't really ask me, like, I don't know, it's weird.
I know, don't give me the story of how it needs to be done. Well, just say, I need A to end up being B. And that's it. And
even going one further back, she's like, well, do you want to cook? Do you want to make dinner? And I'm looking at her, like, with a dumb face. I'm like, because, like, no, I actually really don't want to do anything. I mean, I'm not doing anything right now. Like using an emotional descriptive word, like, I want to be productive. Will food be being productive? Yes. Okay, then yes, I guess I do want to do food. I don't want to have that conversation. I would just like you to let me know that can you make some food? Do you mind making
exactly.
food?
I can maximize myself if you have that available.
Yeah.
And if not, then nobody's mad.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's the other side to it.
Well, the funniest part was she's like, well, I'm not going to tell you to do something. I'm like, well, I don't. Okay, so that's the best way though. Like, she's like, what if I don't want to tell you to do something you don't want to do? Well, if I don't want to do it, I'm not going to end up doing it either way. So, I mean, to me, I'm sorry that ends up happening. However, let's find out what I do. So later, I think hard on it, and I try to give her some better tools. I'm like, well, here are the things that I'm good at. Here's where we'll tap me in, and I think this is the place. Because here's the funny thing: before that meal, before it was dinner time, which I was planning on making dinner anyways, till she started talking, and then asked me if I wanted to help with it. So that was weird. I would have just done it. I would have gotten up and done it once I knew the time. I kind of just hit her with, well, here's like the two questions, and then the other one is like, well, here's what I need then. If I want to do stuff, tell me what it is, and then tell me what it is on the second level, and then just tell me when it needs to be done. So I need to do dinner. That's what level 1. You know what you want me to make. Sweet. What level 2? And now I just need to know the time that it's expected. That's it. And then from there, I hope I don't forget, but I'm not trying to. That's not part of the program. So I'm hoping she got that, and I'm hoping these little choices that people would be mad if I made the wrong choice would be, they just have to make a couple slight picks, and then I'll form it and get it done.
Well, that's it, though. That's the thing right there. You said these people just got to make the choice. That's the problem. People are quick to, inject a little part that they have any concern of, and then just toss that off as if that was a choice made. And it's like, no, you told me like some micro flavor of some third level of the second course, and now you're like, make dinner?
Mm-hmm.
That's...
Yeah, and it's fun letting, she sees, like, baby, I don't want to be a bother. I'm not trying to be a bother, and I'm also not trying to do anything that messes up if you have a preset rhythm. However, I do that. That's what I do. That's what my brain looks for, and it seems to be the angle I go at. So telling me any narrative behind what we're doing is not helpful. Don't tell me you want dinner and this is why. I'm actively starting to not want to make dinner because I don't like why it's being made. I was perfectly happy with knowing that I had to make dinner. I was really happy about that. And she looks at me.
Yeah, but stop there. That's all it needed to be, was stop there.
Mm-hmm. She looks at me a little dumbfounded, and I'm like, I mean, baby, just if you look at the interaction you have with me, I think it's clear that is going on. It's nothing negative. but why are we telling me things that I will actively fight against? Even later on that day, it was funny. She had said something, and she had said it like a third time, something about cucumbers, and it was in a very short order. And then I cracked hard. I laughed, and I was trying to explain to her that I didn't have the verbal, I don't want to do this shit for anymore, but I had the subverbal, like, not intention, but real sensation that, man, I fucking don't want to do whatever the thing is that I was being told to do. I was down as hell, easy project. I think it's cutting a cucumber up, by the way. It's real basic for my daughter before we go out eating. And I just laughed, and she didn't fully get it. She kind of looked at me like, I tend to get a lot of dog looks. Like, they seem that all the words, there's no new words, but there's not any real understanding. And that sucks. I gotta clean that up. That I know I can clean up. And I think it's got a lot to do with not explaining why as well. It might be the exact same thing.
Well, they'll flip to it just like they're doing with their food. Like, exactly. Mm-hmm. They can't take the story either. They've got a capacity of about 3 to 5 words. We have Google to thank for that reality check of people's, attention span. So it's like if it can't get into 3 to 5 words, have some meaning, and give some kind of virtual hug, it's in one ear out the other.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. There was a good hour, 2 hours that I was just meandering around. Couldn't really do anything. Everyone talks to me, so there's no way to explain that. I'm like, if everyone's able to ask me a question randomly, my body won't try to start a project. I get infuriated if I'm anywhere where I feel like I know what I'm doing, and then I have to think about what I was just doing, knowing that I know it. It's very frustrating. It's very high level.
And the hiccup is a motherfucker just randomly saying some shit. Like, that's the killer.
100%. Even something as simple as, hey, what do you want for dinner? I told you that I already had everything I thought about for dinner set. I went out and bought the stuff at midnight the night before, baby. I don't know what I want for dinner. I just know when it's dinner time, I'm going to go and make what my rhythm is. I know I eat eggs for lunch, and I know I eat meat and vegetables for dinner. Like, that's what it is. I'm not trying to think about it and make a choice and remember that, or later on see if I feel about that choice and then have that argument. And I'm not trying to say that that's fucking a normal thing to have to deal with. I'm just saying that it is the thing that happens to me on a high, like, just consistently. It's more than 80% of the time if we're talking about friends and family. Or if I don't have, like, an outcome to measure it against. Like, before that dinner conversation we had, she was like, oh, can you hang up this coat? Sure. Can you go bring something? Yes. Just get up, walk, just do that. Engage the body in a task. Task is done, come back, sit in stasis. It's the best example I have, and I love the example because I still think it's funny. You hand me something in the car, I sit down and I hold it, and that's now my, my baseline. And when I have when I don't have the capacity to, function at a higher level, that's just where my body and mind tend to sit, because the activation of anything else isn't there except for a person. They can activate anything in me. Questions or actions.
That's the funny part. Shit. Motherfuckers just don't get it. I mean, with every job I've had too. If you have the right question and you had a superpower, instead you want to fucking talk to me about some dumb shit.
I wish I had realized that as a better statement too. With the right question, like, I'm fine. Dustin, they even had example. Look at the clip I produced you. I love the compliments. I mean, my ego says you're saying them probably just as much, so that way I don't dislike editing next time I have to go into it because I feel good about the result. However, that's the way I result if I've got to fucking do something, okay? It looks like there's so many things not okay with it. This isn't the first picture I've sent to someone.
Just put the consideration into the feed so it's on the, you know what I mean? Dude, I'm always that way. I have not tried to edit shit. When I drop it like it's hot. Like, that's it. Drop the mic, fucking done.
Dustin, on so many levels, there was no fucking way I could get away dropping it. Because even you would have looked at me cross-eyed like, listen, man, I don't give a fuck. But, like, what the fuck? You could have just posted a 5-minute video saying it didn't work. That would have been acceptable. Yeah.
Hell no. Like I said, I was fucking happy shit someone posted that, and realizing that was what was took place, I fucking was like, alright, hell.
Double down on a second level.
Talking about. It's funny. Like, it doesn't matter if fuck it got done. Like, That's what I love. You know what I mean? Because I was just going to plug away.
It was clean. It was a very clean line,
Exactly.
Justin. It was super, and having the image, I mean, think about how much the image saved. I didn't have to worry about, like, I cut everything. What if I had to worry about the visual? Like,
Well, that's what I'm saying too. Once we have this character thing set up for you, it's just gonna be if you want your character on, you turn him on. Now he gets to obviously be your little animated character. But if you don't, he don't have to be, or he can buzz into the screen and just whatever because he's just a layer. So he can just float around on your screen or do whatever you want him to do.
that's going to be fun.
Oh, dude, this shit, I cannot wait. It's just the biggest thing is building these goddamn avatar things. We'll get those done, and then it's playtime.
Now, outside of just outside of avatars, people manipulate. What about, like, things? Like, so a person's a person, but what about in action? I.e., like if I wanted to, either have him meditating or show getting fatter or getting thinner with, like, the foods around him.
Well, the better you've designed his skeletal ability, the more you can manipulate him and bend him. You can set him to a rest position, and then depending on how much animation you want to have done, if it's minimal, it will lock onto you and your body features, and as you move, he'll move back and forth. If it's more complicated than that, what you do is you run the movie in the background, and you actually take your mouse and drag his arms and move it, and it records that movement as an overlay, and then you just sync them all back up and play.
Wow. That's really
Dude,
cool. That sounds fun.
I'm so excited for this.
So, yes, it's a total aside, but since it's still a animated clip, a graphic 30-second fucking clip, is that, did this tool make him excited enough to where he would go to that, or do I just now know?
Oh, dude, he couldn't even, it was like, yo, okay, let's all knuckles up and agree we're going to sleep, because if not, he was going to be in here until 3 a.m. without me.
He's got
Like,
grunt work.
this motherfucker, it's like yesterday, I had to meet up with Karen to try to get some money and shit, and it's like, I was gone for like an hour and a half. It's like, when I left, he's just like, yeah, I'll go ahead and put this aside. I come back, this motherfucker's like 4 hours deep into the movie. He's got fucking characters going everything. I'm like, yeah, he's excited.
Yeah, it's fun to actually see, because, I mean, we get it. We all work in the darkness. I know I take so much time to do something that it's always kind of apparent that it takes, ADD can take a while, but the result is always on the back end. It's fun seeing someone else really put a similar quality to their time when they're going deep. Because, I mean, I obviously understand that well. Or I understand that very well. So,
Oh, yeah, it's cute, too. Every time you walk in, it's like you just see Caleb over there going,
oh, my God.
he just faces, and I'm like,
Oh, and he's got such a... It's not that he has a silly face, but his face isn't very expressionary, so I can only imagine you're just getting tickled. You've never seen this man's face in shapes. It's almost always just his face.
And it's funny, too, like having his facial movements, he couldn't get the robot to do it. I think it's because of the beard. So it's like there was no look down. There was no, a bunch of expressions for him. So he's just over there contorting his face, trying.
Bro, I am so overly expressional. I can only imagine what the fuck it's going to be. I gotta literally jump off the screen.
Have clean faces. Like when I'm looking at you now, you're slightly shadowed, but I still can pick up, really easily on the facial expressions. Him with the beard and everything, it kind of blurs his lines, so it has a hard time picking them up.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think with us it'll be any problem because all I do is just, I could like,
Yeah.
I think his eyes would just follow me and everything.
And for me, my face just expands whenever I get excited to talk with a little thing.
Oh yeah, your little face, it'll be hilarious. You'll just light up.
Yeah, I express. There's no problem with that. Yeah. So yesterday, I mean, was a successful day because I got those things done. I believe I found a system for Caitlin that I'm really trying to get her to really understand the trueness of it, and it's a lot to do with what we're doing. So right now, it's a simple on-off system. I wake up, it's me. I'm alone. Basically, I'm either me, support, or no one. The morning, it's me and you. Get this done, which they're asleep, so it doesn't matter. When they wake up, I'm committed to making the onboarding process to get into school easy. Right now, she drops all the kids off at school. She's helping 2 other kids, so that way it gets a ride home easier. If she drops off the kids in the morning, she's going to drop me off at the library, so I don't have a car, so I can't leave, and I'm where I need to be, which I have openly accepted that I've liked, as I dislike it every day. Every time I say I'm being dropped off there, it's within walking distance from home. It's not a problem. It's just a couple hours. It's perfect. Make it work. She's going to grab me and pick up Evelyn, and then come home. At which point she has to work. Now normally she takes an hour to get Evelyn settled, and then she's working till like 9. When we get home, I'm full-time dad. That's what I'm doing. It's paying attention to Evelyn, playing with the kids. Whatever it is, if I'm just mirroring them, we're golden. I don't have to worry, or if I feel like I'm not getting productive, I do that. I make dinner. Once dinner's done, we all eat as a family. And then at that point, I'm gone. I zero out again. I'm probably going to go headphones because I can't. I'm putting music on, but that's too distracting for Caitlin. And without music, everything else is too distracting for me. So we kind of agreed that I can just go kind of, full introvert, put headphones on so I can't even accidentally hear what's going on. And I can, she's going to be responsible for getting Evelyn ready for bed. I can't be part of it. It's her system. I'm messing it up. And if it can't be my way, which it can't be because I can't do it for everything, so I just get to go. I'll just get to go into headphones back in. I'll clean up the kitchen so it's beautiful.
Well, out of all the processes I got to get done with Evelyn, that's a good one that ends in like a whoosh. So it's like of all the ones to back out of.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. That's good.
A massive one. And Caitlin, I know Caitlin updates and she understands, so I'll be able to just do that. And she might forget, but it'll only be me who gets emotional about her making the mistake and me triggering. So knowing that, it's just, I'll have a couple probably backline sentences like, "I'm sorry, I can't do that," or who knows. But then, it's perfect. I know when I'm responsible and I know what I need to do. And it's made very clear that I'm basically not here. Just my body does it just because my body's here.
What time is that about?
She's 6:30's dinner, which works great for us.
8:30 my own time?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, last night everything got all fucking crazy. I was going to get you up to see if you wanted to do Eve for a little bit, but it's like the first thing I did was I just kicked on my computer. It needed to do like 7 gig in updates, and I'm not hardwired, so yeah, I think it probably got done sometime at like 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah, I was going to say, if I can bring that shit downstairs and plug it in.
You might kick on your computer, let it update Eve, and then later on tonight, if you get a chance, if you're down, we'll go burn like half an hour into it.
That'd be nice. Nothing else to log in.
At least reroute our skills, or at least look at our skills and see what we've done, or hopefully we're still doing.
Figure out. Yeah, I agree. I know I want to stay in the cruiser. I really want to min-max towards the federal, the Navy.
The Navy Vexer?
Yeah, because, really, if I have the skills, there's no reason it's not worth flying once the money's available. And I like that size ship because, small ships I can take out, big ships I can support to, and I can kind of like dual anyway. I can be a support for a big ship, I can be a support for a small ship, I can be a tank for a small ship. There's a lot of diversity, and it's probably one of the best drone boats, and within that cruiser class, there's the next level of cruisers, the Meriden, the tall thing. So it seems like for the next year, if I take all the time I did, remove it from market, and try to find how to fold it into that, probably the best use of points.
The other thing is we'll probably pull like a skill map for the Vexer Navy issue, see like the 2 or 3 runs that they give, because they always lined up either a blaster rig or a railgun rig or whatever.
PvP,
so we'll see what
PvE.
skill trains are on those, and then at least keep that in mind when we re-reference ours, because again, I know both of us want to be up against a Vexer, and then my side skills are just going to be more cloaky, that kind of stuff, and yours seem to be more droney, miney.
Yeah, I'd even say miney droney because I've got all the drone stuff done. Like
I got all the way up to medium. You were all the way up to high and everything else. I had small and mediums mastered. I think that was it. And then some of the secondary shit for drones, like level 3 and 4 on the distance ones and shit like that. But the critical ones, I got those to 5.
So in probably one skill, I give you an idea of what I've gone through. I've got level 5 on sentry drones, and you need a lot of level 5s and a lot of different random skills to just access sentry drones, and those are the ones that, like, if we didn't, like, I could easily drop them next to you, micro warp drive in with blasters, my drones are always safe, hitting at a high fucking level of damage, And
yeah, those are the only things that take me out at this point. Usually when I'm in like a Vex or whatever and I pull up on a big thing, the base with people and everything else, I can take the people out, I can take the base out, but those goddamn freaking things just randomly out in space, just popping shots.
Yes.
And the worst thing is that they're so dispersed. So it's not like you can get right up on a group and kill them. You're killing one while 6 other ones are shooting you from like halfway across the galaxy, and then you finally kill that one, and then you got to take head barrage as you go into the next and take them out.
And
so it's like
it
slows it down bad.
But if we're gonna go, like, I'd rather do sentries with a micro warp drive and blasters, and have my 2 forms of damage in different times and places of space.
Yes.
Because the worst case scenario,
exactly.
They'll be close to you. They can be set to protect. The only problem is picking them up and wherever they're dropped. So I'll probably have 3 dropped very close to each other. I don't have the NPC benefit of having it all set up.
Well, we do have the ability too. Is that when if and when the skirmish is over, we can just drop that thing and it picks them up.
Oh, 100%. I just assumed you'd be grabbing them at the end of the thing so we could warp out because you'd be closer to them in general.
I'll probably grab a couple, yeah. They're valuable.
They're very valuable. They're very big, too, so they go right into your storage unit. They go right into the big hole. They're large drones. Yeah, that would be fun. I would love to definitely use sentry drones because it also means I need to manipulate them a little bit less, and I can then focus on. I like the active battling. Once I know the priority target, if there's not a choice, my circadian rhythm is on point. It'll go. However,
well, that's just it. Yeah, if you can just drop the drones, it's like plug and play. Like I want them here, drop, fly a little bit further in the middle of battle. It doesn't matter. Here's a good spot. Drop. And just litter the battlefield with them, and don't make it them a thing. Just more. Drop, litter, stay fighting.
That's a orbit at orbit at let's just say 7K. Orbit at 7K. Release. But and then then at that point it is just go. If I can figure out a way to an easy way to force my orbit to go this way, so I can also change my trajectory while I'm doing that. I drop 1, 2, 3, bam. I'm hoping I can get a good angle going in because apparently that's really what matters.
Yeah, AOA.
Yeah,
one of the angle of attack.
So if I can use the dropping of the drones as the creation of that, now all of a sudden I have a reason to fucking bother rather than target, micro warp, get within range, which is my standard method. Because I don't give a fuck. I'm going to take damage. When am I going to take it? I know I'm going to be taking it when I'm giving it to him too. So let's get to it.
Yeah, let's be the first to turn on the switch.
Yes, give him the choice. And I mean, once close range, there's so many E-war tactics that I'll have access to. Because although I'll have blasters. Those blasters might only be just to break shields or to break whatever it is. There's 3 types of armor, but maybe it's just fucking E-blasters. So that way, you're never gonna shield tank through my fucking my sentry drones. My sentry drones do, they're gonna be Galante, which are thermal and explosive. So that covers armor and hull real well. I don't give a fuck if I've got EMP fucking blasters and go in there and just bam that and vamps. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah,
I just want to be
exactly.
When you look at the way the bonuses work, it would just be an amazing amount of damage. And I might save a lot of fucking ammunition. Shields kill me. They really suck.
It's funny with our 2 different gameplays. I can definitely see that. Mine's always I'm always like, fuck, I like yoke sucks. The shell. I love the shell. The armor's good. The in between the shield and the armor. Both usually are pretty good. But then you've got this weak bitch little egg in the middle, and it's 255 hit points. What the hell? My shield is 1500. My armor is 900. What the hell is my guts doing at 200? But
if you break my skin and my bones and my muscle, there ain't really much in between my liver except for water. I feel like that's an accurate score. My mind keeps me out of danger. High HP. Once I start getting beat up, there's a while before my body's broken. But I promise you, once you break that seal, shit's easy.
Yeah, it's pretty much going out at that point.
Who's adapting the last bit of their HP that high? I'm going to adapt so many things at earlier stages to affect it. I ain't got no time to max out that last part.
Dude, that would be the craziest fight, though. Imagine how fucking thrown off you'd be if rip through this dude's shields, rip through his armor, and then all of a sudden his ticker's not going down.
Oh, yeah.
That would be mad confusing.
Well, I would imagine you can probably get like if you stacked hull real hard, almost like maybe they need to do like a 5-to-1 or even an 8-to-1. So I mean, real quick, I mean, 200 HP at a 5-to-1 ratio. If they've got to do 5 for every one, that's gonna suck. That's gonna catch them off guard.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, shit. There was that one configuration. Remember, we had even with the Vexer, where its lowest armor was like 71% or something resistance. So it was like, yeah, his hit points was like 8,000. His effective hit points was like 36,000. I was like, holy fuck, dude. Mm-hmm. That's like stopping 3/4 of the damage.
Yeah, and it's more than likely in the primary damage type that you're fucking with.
Yes, exactly. Well, that was, because we had that specific thing rig up top that was for the one damage we kept taking, and then we had the other two that were non-specific that did like 15 across the board. So we had 30 across the board on the rig, plus the one that did like 60 or 50 or something on the one specific. So, yeah, I love that configuration.
That does...
That was the one that we had when we went out and took on the Playboy crew.
Oh, that was fun.
That was badass. I ain't gonna lie, that was a lot of fun. The joining the crews part sucked, but the fucking fighting them, that was fun.
Oh, of course. Well, I mean, it'd be nice to have like a nice high-paying 9-to-5 job. It was like, that game is meant for like a high, I'm too busy to work, but 9 to 5. Like,
dude, it'd be nice to just where we played and we had like two of those dudes on the crew like we heard on that voice thing. Man, those motherfuckers were just murderous. Like, it was cool, like, getting to hear it, but it's like, damn, I definitely see why I just get scraped randomly now.
Yeah.
You got dudes like this that just ain't got shit to do but talk about their fucking wives and fuck people up.
Yeah. It's a fun,
good weekend.
It's an honest game. It's a very honest game. Can't hate on it.
No, definitely not. I was like, hell yeah, that's cool as shit. I'd like to be part of it, but at the same time, too, not trying to put a mic thing on my head every night, so...
Definitely. Cool. The struggle is real. We are never going to be able to be in an active alliance or an active anything unless we're like, oh, I guess this is what we want to play. We're doing this for the next 3 months? I'd be down as fuck. Yeah, let's go.
Well, or once we've assembled the room with like the 6 computers in one room, so we don't have to put the fucking headset on. Like, I'm cool as fuck about it. I'd love to turn around and be like, hey, motherfucker, go quicker. Come on. Blah, blah, blah. But
100%. That's true. Yeah, we just got to find like, I guarantee in Vegas it would not be hard to fucking rent a warehouse. You chunk it up into 6 different rooms, and you just set them up like, oh, we rent Eve Alliance space. Fuck that. Like you're in Vegas. Like there's enough Vegas people. Like here's six different alliances. Look, for enough money, you can own that room. We'll lease it to you.
Hell yeah. Eve is in Vegas in October.
Yes, I'm aware of that. I'm definitely aware of it, and I'm not against it. I don't know what the tickets cost. I watched a couple of the videos, and again, Dustin, I don't mean to say it with a nasty taste in my mouth, but I did watch an hour-long presentation, 45 minutes, of mindfulness and gaming, and if you just heard his opening lines, it sucks because here's the thing, the sword was sharp. It was still just a copper sword. So like he was handling it well. I was like, ooh, this is good. You're doing this on purpose. Like you're practiced, no question about that. But then me is still in the background. Like this is complete garbage. This is not good enough. Like it's not that it's bad. Like don't confuse what it is with what my measurement is. But man, I was just like, it was a real realization. Why am I not? I should be there doing that. Period. That looks good, and everything he's saying is right, but. Not tactically. Tactics, Dustin. Tactics are where that's where I'm really strong. What's that micro thing? Sweet. I'll be back. Trust me. I'm on the mission. Don't listen to me. I'm on board. I had a fun time telling Caitlin about the second time I managed to fucking at least give. The best wording I have for it is an illusion of an ego. It's the only argument I have. Like Tristan, why do you have to be right? I got and just that and like the anxiety trip I had to go through to solve a simple problem because a motherfucker said I was doing shoddy work when I had an answer, and then even explaining the handoff of it, knowing what I needed to do, and then going to prove myself wrong. Once it was labeled and what I had to do, then I sat down and fucking did it, and then I went to the next part of the conversation where I'm like, And I even knew that I couldn't just go and be excited that I got it right, because I'm the guy who wants to be right, and that can be triggery, and people just think I'm doing that, and they can't help that. And then I did it. I knew it. Like, dude, I can't tell you. I sat down and looked at that answer for 5 minutes, and I was fairly confident that was right, and I was fairly confident that we'd really learned something. I love discovering a hiccup. And when you had said that you had gone through settings, it had only gotten me more excited to find something, because that's where knowledge is. Like, that's literally what it is. It's in a basic list, and we both go through those lists. So finding it was great. And then, you look at me, and I just get so excited that I think I have the right answer, and I solved the problem, but in my soul, your problem. This is not acceptable to you. It needs to become acceptable, and I am not helping. Before I sat down, that wasn't the reaction I got from you was not, that wasn't what my actions or intent was. And that's all my actions and intent are. If I'm doing something, fuck what I sound like. So, and just looking at you and getting a little excited, and then like, fuck, I burned my bridge on the way there. Because I'm like, even though I smile, I remember I'm going to walk through step by step. I want to verify with Dustin that I'm doing it in the right order of operation. I want him to hand it down, so that way if there's a hiccup, let's find it now before I test this, because we could probably really line it up, or at least if we test it, I can think about that hiccup at the same time. Both valuable. And just fucking, that smile pissed him off so bad. He was like, fucking do it. Let's see what happens. I don't want to do that, bro. That's not the goal. That's why we're here. And it was weird, man. You never trigger anxiety in me, ever. It was really nice that I got the right answer, and when it mattered, and I just looked at you very sincerely and asked, I'm like, man, Dustin, I'm not trying to be right. I really need your help right now. I think I've got the right way, and I just want to know we're doing it right so that we can solve this problem. And fuck, you woke up pretty quickly, which is super helpful, because I don't know, like, at that point, if you were deaf, I got nothing. Like, I know I'm right. It might not even matter. I just get to go downstairs and feel like a piece of shit for the next couple hours. For no reason, bro. No reason. I'm just going to feel like a fucking piece of shit. And, by the way, if that had gone down, I was right with my solution, and I still could have gone down for hours and just been fucked. Because I got excited that I fucking got the solution. That's what I do. So I told her that, and she laughed. Not much I would have liked her to. And then the crack of like, man, I have the potential to be so irritating that even my fucking brother in arms, can still get confused at what the path that I'm on, because my actions are so not wiry, but so high pitched.
Oh yeah, he's just assassin. He fucking says it and expects it, and fucking yeah.
It was cute.
So yeah, definitely been on the other end of that one from that shit too.
Yeah, I'm happy you have to deal with it internally.
Shit.
Because I do understand that internal struggle, like me versus it. We're on the same team, but man, we have to both be on board or on the same page.
But yet act like you don't know each other.
Kind of. Yeah, or like fucking God forbid you try to explain to anyone that you're willing to, not have a single line process in your head to achieve better results, and then, trying to explain to someone like, there's agency there, there's usable agency there, that thing has enough of its own baseline neurons to have an intention. It does what it does. That's like...
It holds as much emotion out of fucking someone as a fucking like a beaten child. Like, it's fucking crazy. Oh shit.
It's good times. But at the same point, I love, man, dude, 2 years into my relationship with Kate, I was very clear. I can't get married to you. We've never gotten into a fight. We need to know what that's like. 4 years later, can't get no. We started into a fight, and she's just like, but we're not getting into a fight. That's a beautiful thing. No, that is great that it's happening. It is not realistic to assume it's not going to happen. We need to know what happens after war.
Yeah. La La Land is nice, but
yeah.
It doesn't last forever.
Yeah. Exactly. And, after the boat concept of, get off or stay on, but you're not going to slow it down, I think that's where she also understood, like, oh, okay, well, one, there isn't really an argument that you can have with me. You're going to feel wrong, and that sucks, man. I don't like making people feel wrong. I don't want that. I hate feeling wrong. I want people to know what's right and move forward. But, you have a conversation with me. It's very hard. Like, if you have your answer, don't ask me the question, because I'm probably going to make you feel wrong with your answer. And if you explain how you got to your answer, I'm only going to have explanations on how that was probably, I'm only going to have what's wrong in that. That's what I do. I actively know how I'm fucking up. And it's tenfold when it's outside of me, because I can't understand it. So I can just feel it. And at its core, that same feeling is like the reason I sat down and fixed that, why I sat down and tried to attack that simple settings problem. There was nothing in me that had that wrong going off. So I was like, fuck, I need this wrong to go off so I have something to figure out, or I need to know what's right, because I feel really wrong about the current situation either way. But it wasn't the system, it was my system. That was cool. Camera froze for a second.
What's that?
I said the camera had frozen for a second. You were looking to the side, so at a certain point I'm like, I think you might just be reading or listening. Body went totally freeze.
I froze for a second.
Man.
Popped up. I opened the screen from last night what was on, and a bunch of stuff had moved and changed and stuff. So.
Oh wow! Yeah, so you were caught.
Yep.
That's funny.
It's like, oh, head update. Things updated. I had to update with them.
Nice. I'm reading the ADHD Advantage. Really good book. It's a secondary book from a doctor.
That was the picture of the book that was on Facebook?
Yes, the blue one.
Right.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of the show Extreme Makeover?
Yes.
Sweet. Good-looking white guy, hair kind of generic looking. That's.
Say the name one more time.
Extreme Makeover.
So is that the two dudes that look kind of the same? They're kind of twins and they sell houses or some shit.
So similar premise. Those people are actually out of Connecticut and they are after the bandwagon. Extreme Makeovers was like the first reality TV show for that concept, so they were the real world of it. And it was like, do a whole house in 7 days. Ty Pennington, silly name, not silly name.
I've heard that name.
Sweet, good. We're talking about Ty Pennington. The first chapter, he was diagnosed with ADHD as an adult. He was born in the 70s. Apparently, before Ritalin was known, they'd just put you on allergy meds, antihistamines. They would just blur the line. Yeah, you can't. You can't just put a guy on Thorazine. That would be rude. But you can definitely put him on benzo. So,
I was just say, depending on what years, but yeah, I guess during the 70s that had become not good.
Mm-hmm. Well,
maybe the 60s though, it definitely would have been fucking.
Yeah, mental health was a different game. He was born with, obviously, pretty deep. Wasn't aware of it, and once he had found out, it was cool. And not only talked about his in school, he was always one of the worst kids, and the attention, the outburst, the need for attention and energy are very weird, especially when it comes to monkeying around. But I mean, I don't know what your brother's done around people to to feel like he's being part of it, but I can imagine anything that will get that energy through people is good enough. They talk about that, him going through this, and then when failing in school, going to college, and then just finding his creative work, the carpentry. And it was a really good story. It's cool to hear that. It's cool that this book is filled with people who are openly expressing ADHD and how it's helped them. And there's a couple who are like, no, because the fact is, if you make this a list of the things that you factually are, no one's hiring you. It's super annoying. Like, you make just a bullet point of like what you are, not really interested. I wouldn't hire that. Why would I? Like, there's nothing about that person that would be useful. He better know how he's helping me and be able to do it. Otherwise, it's a breakdown. And so, man, I wish I'd had the thoughts gathered together more. So, the thing that I liked most about that chapter was it was a couple of Ty's words explaining how both the hyper-focus of the chaos was great, the ability to multitask many things, and the ability to stop, like in a whole house makeover, top to bottom, there are a million different projects. But at any one point, one project is everything that matters, but needs to be done. And it kind of hit the impulsivity, the hyperactivity, and just the other two things that let us really run, and how it just min-maxed his skills. And the book goes through explaining that at its core, if you really look at like where the ADHD gene, its expression seems to be most valuable. If you're gonna measure it in any way, it's in athletes and in entrepreneurs. Those are the two facets where ADHD has a huge way of excelling. I think the athlete's pretty clear. Like, you see what I'm willing to put my body through. I'm lazy, which is a little annoying.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one seems like a given. I mean, that one has one of those ones that could probably fall across both lines.
Yes.
And then, no, definitely on like, well, like of course though, the entrepreneur is based on oh shit, phone's about to die. The entrepreneur is based on the whole, creative thought put on other creative thoughts. It's not a bad thing to put a fourth round of a spin on something in entrepreneurship as opposed to basically any other job where it's got to fucking be done and turned in and blah, blah, blah. Most things, the more you load into the front, the more you just slowed yourself down and fucked up. With, entrepreneurship and marketing, a lot of times it's like, obviously, you can go 3 rounds in if you haven't thought about it. You just wasted your time.
Yeah. And
so
the concept of this, so he labeled it really well. Think about ADHD as a very, very low threshold for boredom. And at its core, as an entrepreneur, if you're bored with what you're doing, you can just do something else. However, when you factor in how we work and putting everything into everything, yeah, we're bored with that, and now we're working on this. At any point in time when it comes full circle, that's interesting when it's usable to the next thing. Because that's different than, like, the thing itself is bored. So entrepreneurs excel at a massive, like, okay, so you can have 7 or 8 different businesses running through one thing because it's what it does. Like, Justin, I can't tell you how much I think about SMD reflectively. Probably because I'm bored of what I'm currently thinking of. So that it
just wait till we're running fucking animated commercials, bro.
It's gonna.
This shit is so exciting. It's funny too. It don't stop at SMD, man. This shit's gonna be on fucking everything.
Oh yeah. Well, exactly. Why use a tool?
Oh yeah, exactly. Wait till somebody gets their fucking email and the little character pops that climbs out of the email and just starts going.
Dustin, if our bounce rate doesn't increase, I'm down with any idea. But every time I hear anything about making inside email different, I'm just like, that's gonna bounce rate. Email's so dumb. I'm just doing plain text, good copy, and hitting them again and again and again. I will link to that video all day long. I'll put a fucking HTTP link, any HTTP link all day long. I ain't putting shit in anyone I design. But man, if you can because like everything you're doing will work and will trigger black hat because people have done it too. Because people like you have done it at a level where like, no.
Well, I don't know though. You know what? I found some shit the other day. That dude. Okay, the customer, that dude David, seemed to be a scam. So I went in. I was like, fuck it, we're gonna figure this out. So nice. I tracked him down, figured out everything. In the process of figuring out that he had spoofed his email and that it's all fake and he was trying to rob us, I found how to verify my emails. So I can get them through Google AdSense, and I can get them through Microsoft's AdSense by putting in a little bit of coding into the email that basically says, "Don't worry, sir, I've checked," and it will pass it.
Oh, that's cool.
That's how these motherfuckers are spoofing people and still able to get into their email address with a spoofed. Where it came from is because they're putting the verification code in the header, the header code of the email. So it's just tricking itself through the system. So if they can trick through the system, we'll do the same thing. It's just our shit won't be illegal and we won't be fucking trying to jack them on the other side. We'll just get through the system.
Trying to actually add value.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
So, and yes, David is not a real person. It is a roughly 55-year-old female that lives in California and loves to visit a lot of, dudes put money into the system and she shows her tits on the camera.
Oh, I love those webcam shows. That's a good play.
Yeah, the web chat rooms. Yeah. That's what she does. So that's Double D 1962. Her name is not David. David is not a real person. I've checked everywhere. There's nothing like that. There's no registry in Nebraska. Checked birth records. Checked everything. Dude's not a real person.
No name. No store name to find either.
Nothing even close to that type of store name. No registry that anybody's tried to do anything like that.
And
No.
most importantly, we are unable to receive payment from, like, I'll take a Lyra client who can transfer money into my bank, and I'll make whatever they want if they, funds received.
Well, it's like I sent him the invoice to PayPal. He told me that due to something in the past, he had an issue with PayPal. I was like, totally understandable. I got a kid in the same room that's got the same problem. So I said, I'll send you an invoice under another program. Sent it under Square. And then all of a sudden he's like, I don't know how to do these programs. If you could manually enter it for me, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, a little bit weird, but, dude seems old. So I'm like, okay, do you want me to call you and you can give me that information? Motherfucker just typed it all into a text and sent it. So at that point, I'm like, okay, this is really seeming dumb. Motherfucker's trying to give me his straight-up information to manually enter. So I told him that I manually entered it and shit, and it doesn't seem to be working. And he's like, let me see, there might be a security thing from losing a card or something while it's back. Let me see what's up. So that's where we're at. But like I said, I took everything that we've received, stripped it all down, broke the email apart back to, HTML code, and then went through the HTML code, pulled all the IP addresses out of it, found the way that it traveled from where it traveled to get to us and all of that shit, and found that he had sent it to a Microsoft server that had been sent it to an Outlook server, which in doing that double bounce internally before it ever left the mail system, it in essence spoofed it so you can't see where it came from. If you put in any of the details as to where it came from, it always goes back to Microsoft Corporation, or in a few situations goes back to an Outlook mail server that's used for security. So
Okay.
I was able to find that he has an active account with eBay, that he has an active account with GitHub, which is cute, and
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Where else would he be? And that there is minimal movement on that email address with forums. But as far as anything else, he has no accounts nowhere else under that. So,
Okay.
but yeah, there is an active eBay account and there is an active GitHub account. So what I'm thinking, because I want to get this motherfucker back, is we now have his email address. Give it like a few weeks. Set up the deal of the day, so he's going to have no way but to want to try to scam that person, and we're going to be ready.
Nice. I definitely like that. Now, there's still the possibility that the ease of transaction hasn't gone great between PayPal and Square. Those are two micro places. Can we send him either an email or a web page that has a Shopify buy button? Because that is your standard cart on any, like, that's like hitting.
I dropped the credit card information into our Hangouts chat.
Okay.
If you at whatever point want to just see if that works, I tried like 4 different ways with different apps online. I couldn't get it to go through. If you get it to go through, he said, just send him a receipt.
Was it rejecting? What was the back?
On PayPal, it said that PayPal had a weird one. PayPal said something about the user information is not defined or something correctly, blah, 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 blah. Square just said transaction cannot be processed at this time, card declined.
Beautiful. I wonder if it's a prepaid card. That would, because it's not hard to get a 48-hour. It's very easy to make a 48-hour window where it looks like money's moving.
Yes.
Thank you, banking system.
So that's where that's at. It seems really scammy. There's still a 10% chance this is just an old man that don't know what he's doing. But as time drags on, that's what's making it seem kind of awkward now. And then especially when I did that deep dive last night, unless he's just staying under a fake name for some, and he might be pulling one of those. But beyond that, I don't see why everything would have dead-ended like that. Especially, an older gentleman should have somewhere in the computer world a existence, Yeah. There's not much that isn't found by like those verify sites and everything, and none of them could find anything on him.
None of them could find anything on him?
No, I ended up, like I said, I had to strip the header apart of the email and go in that route because there was like no information because it was all gummy inside.
Can we put him in a position where so I like the position of, man, we don't. It's kind of crazy that this system isn't working. We can't get payment. We don't see a reason why we can't start to work on it. Can you please email us all the photos and the critical information and see if he can provide data? because that's like if he actually has photos and can provide the critical information, maybe he's wasting his time to make money, but it gives him an opportunity that might, it opens up an availability. We don't have to do anything with the work, but it puts the ball in his court.
Possibly. I mean, he's supposed to respond to me this morning, so I can check with him and see, what ends up happening. Because again, that's the other thing that's weird too. Every time something like doesn't go through correctly, he just stays in contact. He'll contact, okay, so how's everything going? I'm like, dude, it didn't go through. And he's like, all right, let me try something. Then he texts me back. Do you mind trying it again? Tried putting it through. It didn't go through. And he's like, oh, let me see what's up in my bank. I'll call you in the morning. So it's just like, that's been going on now. Like, this is the third day, and he hasn't dropped contact. But it's like, I don't know if it's a scammer chasing, trying to get that money because he's so close, or is it just a dude that wants to get the shit done?
That's kind of where if we presume, shit, he's trying to get shit done, let's not hold him, like, why are we holding him up for money? We hate when people do that to us. Let's give him the opportunity to hold us up for a reason that is his. Not actually owning a business, not actually having the photos that he claimed got done, not knowing any of the information of the brick and mortar store that he wants on a website. Well, if you can't provide the digital details, now it's cool, because now I like that, because really quickly, his reaction, I think, will verify, like, that's a lot of mental work for a scammer to do, and I think me and you will see whether it's him giving his information or it's created information, and then that information will be investigated against hard.
Okay, so when he texts today, I think I'm going to start the flow of texting back and forth like it's always been, because once I respond, if I respond somewhat quickly, then he stays responding back. You know what I mean?
It's a live conversation.
So it's like if I catch him in that conversation, I think I'm just going to just out of the blue right in the middle, just drop it and be like, hey, my guys are actually here right now and want to get started. Is there any way we can receive those assets and the storefront information so we can start the build? We'll transfer it to your URL once that money comes in purchase.
The only other comma, and that's because you've used it so much, is, I definitely like the, fuck these banks, they're in our way, we're on the same team. Can you get us those assets? Like that hug first seems to work real well, that fuck that shit, whatever wording you use, but that theory. So, okay, this is a problem. I'm sick of this being a problem for both of us. Let's set that aside. Let's open up communication and move this forward, because that problem's going to solve itself if we get this stuff done. And
exactly.
That's a very, very thin line for him to, like, I would love him to be real. I would love for us to find out that he's fake. I really don't want to make a real person fake as a side effect of jumping the gun. So, man, I agree. But I'm the first one to say I can't wait till a check is signed. And on that flip side, I'm also not going to assume someone's trying to scam us, because I've been scammed a couple of times now. And fuck, if we assume everyone's a scammer, there's no money on the back end of that either. Yeah. So I'll play devil's advocate no matter what side. But you've given the tools to really let them tie themselves up. It's not hard to get someone caught in string. I know that now.
Oh yeah, so I mean, through this whole thing, I've just been playing it like I said too, fucking positioning me and him against our accountant, everything else. Yeah. You're like, oh, my accountant said he's not too comfortable with this, but just why don't you go ahead and text it to me directly? Mm-hmm. That kind of shit. Let's get it off my company email because my accountant's not comfortable. So it's like, if he's tried to scam, cool. If he's not, then cool. Well, either way, we're on the same side. Just try to get it done. So yeah, I'll put that on today and see what he says as far as like if I get some stupid ass response or if I actually get a response.
Well, it's fun now. It's an actual game. I like this. Like let's move the pieces so that he has to play. Let's not just play his game, because right now, if it is true, I don't like the fact we're playing his game as much as we are if we're being gamed.
Well, it wasn't up until last night. Like I said, after that information last night, it's like, all right, brother, I know who you're doing. Actually, the fact that you don't have a number.
I'm surprised we don't know their business name at this point. Like, okay, let me Google your business real quick so I can see if you're verified. What's your business's name? Some real simple shit.
Non-existent. There's no Dave's nothing in Nebraska.
What does he call his business?
Dave's Trendy Wear.
Really? Okay, I didn't know we had the name of the business. Now I can see why you've never said it out loud. It's a horrible name. Dave's. Okay, sweet. I like that. That doesn't sound. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it sounds like garbage. And the only thing that's even close to it is I believe, a site in Great Britain.
Okay. Britain has a lot of websites. That's funny.
And the only other thing that, as you're saying, the only other thing that there's a slight potential is that if he's trying to sub-segment and do his own David's Trendy Wear. But the one thing I did find in Nebraska, in what seems to be the area where he's coming from, is a David's Bridal. So I don't know if maybe it's David's bridle and he's trying to do an offshoot of that, and do Dave's trendy wear under that or something, is the only thing that I could find that would make this potentially legit. Beyond that, like I said, I cannot find anything with that company. No one's registering that name. The fucking every version of the URL is available in every direction. You know, like, it's not like anybody's tried to do anything with that name or anything.
Oh, wow.
So that's what kind of gets it weird too.
Okay, so we'll keep following that one. Today, I think today.
God damn it! All right, if my phone cuts off, just let you know. It just gave me the second warning.
The second warning. Are you 5% or 10%?
10%.
Oh, you don't get a 15? I thought you got a 15, 10, and 5.
A 20 and a 10.
Oh, wow.
And 20 was, you saw about 4 minutes ago. That was just 10, so very low.
Oh, that's cute. Okay, sweet. Well, that's good. We're at 60 minutes either way. When you are finished, if you can start uploading this file to the Google Drive regardless, my money's on will have the audio. The audio that I lost on your side was because I didn't have, because I think it was on my side, not yours. I'm fairly confident that it should capture it this time and find out. And if it doesn't, hell yeah. Doesn't matter. Shit's getting done regardless. So, I mean, what do we just... I just want to recap so that way I have an idea of what I'm talking about versus what we're talking about. I addressed how I'm trying to become a better father while, maintaining my strengths and really putting myself where I need to be. We addressed that small hiccups for anything you're doing, really, there's no excuse. You get it done and don't feel bad about the results. The video got done. We're day 2 in the video process with Another Way. And as we grow our business, we are showing really the struggles of everyday life. Is that kind of were all those kind of hit and addressed?
Yeah, exactly.
Sweet. Then, fuck yeah. With how our hours are and how it is later for you guys, it's probably easy to do some kind of chunking around, 9 or 10 your time, or even 11 your time, because it's still really early here, but it's finally bedtime for them. Because I would say post 8 o'clock or post 7 o'clock, post 8:30 I can probably sneak out anywhere. Or actually between 6:30 and 8:30 I can probably do...
What do you mean, for like Eve?
Anything. Just update conversation. Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, like I said, I'm down as fuck. If you're gonna, be active all day and then step down at about the time of doing her bedtime, then, I mean, like I said, that would perfect. Just shoot me a text or something like 10 minutes before you're gonna prep. I'll get my computer fired up, because it's a fuck ton of updates each time, and then we go from there.
With what's going on right now, I would imagine when I come back from the beach, we'll have some unsettling, and then they'll probably do something for whatever amount of time. I think I'm going to jump on Eve during that time regardless, so I have something to do. And if I'm doing something, I can't be distracted with lower level, like, oh, maybe I can help with that, maybe I can help with that, maybe I can help with that type thoughts in my body.
Yeah, no, you have to help not die.
Yeah, 100%. That's pretty much it. And on this machine, it should be fine. I have my numpad. Sweet. I love you, bro. What is there anything I need to know that comes to mind?
No, like I said, I tried a new screen recording app on my end too. Apple seems to have one that's kind of neatly integrated. I just hold down my regular record button, and it asks, do I want to capture video and audio through my phone? And I said yes, so we'll see what happens there. I'll plug that up on the drive here shortly. And yeah, if you need that, cool, it's there. If not,
makes sense. Skype also has an internal recorder as well. An internal recorder on their both, at least on the laptop.
The
program.
Desktop.
Yes.
Okay, I was gonna say I saw it on the desktop. It's not on my phone. On my phone, all I've got is I can take a picture of you or heart the conversation.
I would imagine the upload speed of what it's trying to do on the phone and being able to actually download that data is not easy to record. At the same time.
My phone is hot as hell right now. Like it's hot, like driving 1,000 miles with the GPS and radio on hot.
Yeah,
this shit's hot as fuck.
We've been talking for an hour and 3 minutes. It makes sense. So
yeah, I killed off 4% of my battery.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. Okay, we need to get you. Those USB extension cables will put power through.
Mm-hmm.
You can at least get within this room length, making circles.
Well, I just can't move.
It makes sense.
Or I need like a 10-foot USB or something.
I think I do. If Caleb's able to just make a simple checklist, or if you're able to make a simple checklist of all the odds and ends that need to be done on my website, I don't think he needs to do it. But I can't. I want my website up and running, Dustin, and I don't have the ability to build the list of things that I need to check. I could do every one of those if I just had a map to base it on, and we've talked about it a couple of times, even though I talk update, website, freemium.
Do you want me to move, okay, that's two different things. The freemium is a concept. If you need the art and all that stuff done behind that, I can have that done. But the concept itself, I don't think you're going to be able to just throw it to him and be like, hey, I need a concept behind the freemium.
Sweet. Good. I already have the concept. Do need the artwork. What I need from you then is specifically just like, hey, Tristan, these are like the 40 different small things that all need to be done for this to work. And then I can look at all of them and I can start scratching those line by line.
Sorry, it broke up. You said there's 40 and then it broke up.
Probably 40 like singular tasks from, create a light box to decide this, to put, you need these kinds of words here, you're missing this. Just singularly identified things that are required for the website. I know them, but I can't seem to do both at the same time. I just need a list to execute against because we're about to have our second video up and neither one of them are posted. I'm going to create a post for the first one and I'm going to create a post for the second one, but we don't have a homepage. That's fully live. So whatever needs to get done.
I will get the top. I'll have the top part done today because that's going to click into possibly where on a second page an animation or a character will be available, and your character along with ours is going to be built today. So if I can get the top segments that lead into the podcast areas and all that done. I saw that there was 3 blocks down to the bottom of your page that still need words.
Okay.
I know it's. I'm kind of hoping, at least in my head, is I want to finish out the first page and then go to the next one and then hit that one hard. I don't want to have it go 10 directions at once because then it's not. I have a hard time following that. It's not going to get done under me.
Yes.
So if we can just, we'll go down the homepage, money at Mintit. The only other thing I noticed too it would be very helpful if it was on your end to do because I wouldn't know where to link it, is you have Gary V and 5 other blocks.
Yes.
I believe Gary V and only one other block do anything or link anywhere. If you want to figure out who you want to link those to or what podcast those blocks each go to or like what.
Okay. Can I ask, what would be the best so to me, is it backlinks or is it social networking? Because I would go to their websites if I wanted to do that. If I wanted to kind of convey the message better, I'd link them to their Facebook fan pages or, the URL would not be a website. It would be a third party.
Well, you have the availability. I mean, what's neat with that kind of block is you can get, because there's 6 blocks.
Yes.
You can get 6 types of backlinks, and that will really diversify the backlinks you're getting. If you link to one guy's YouTube, one guy's his own site, a different guy's Facebook, a different guy's podcast.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect. Then let's pull back one to the 3 boxes because I have one follow-up question with that, and I think we got it checked. Can we use these 3 boxes as a practice run for I'm going to free write what I think it is, and you're going to ghost write what I'm trying to do? Because you seem to, passively, you now have an understanding of that, and I don't think you're going to fuck up the editing.
I don't have a problem with that. There's the button that has 40 to 60 words, and then wherever it goes. Are you talking about the button itself or wherever it goes?
The mind, body, spirit, the 3 bases I'm talking about, those were the words that you were talking about when you said website words. Those words, I'm going to do the level 1, going to free write in there, and then whatever it's changed to, if it gets cut down to 300 words, and you like the other paragraph, save that shit to a doc and put that into the TMC folder so it can be utilized later. If you use everything, use everything. What I'm going to do is put no limit. I'm going to say mind, believe whatever it is, and then you'll have core V1 materials that I have no fucks given. You can move them, put them however you want.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so you just said you're going to do 3 or whatever amount of words. That would be perfect as your opening. So you click that box and it goes to that page. Or was it going to die out there? Was just the words going to be on your homepage and that was it? It didn't go nowhere.
Everything is going to link somewhere, but since I don't have the words since I don't even have the words, I wasn't considering it. The mind, body, spirit will probably go to channels that are filtered. Everything from the homepage will have some form of tag filtering system down from there. Nothing on that first page isn't meant for segmentation. My homepage is going to be designed to segment from the get. But we need to decide what they are. So those 3 down at the bottom, the mind, body, spirit, in the end, were those going to be, all 3 lanes of them going to be verbal, podcast / that? Or is it some of them going to be a lot of writings? I'm trying to figure out how, because those seem like those 3 boxes down below, the mind, body, and spirit,
would send you into the post page segment with the tags lined up to follow, mind or
Yes.
body or spirit.
Yes.
Am I imagining that right? Or is that
Yes.
how you wanted it?
Yes, you
Okay.
are. I think what we're doing by mistake is when we immediately jump to the next level, we're asking what type of content it is. I don't think we need to do that. I think we'll know what type of content
I
it is.
just need to know, how am I building out my mind?
Yes.
If that's the post-page spot, or
Yes.
is it going to be deeper than that?
I
If it's right
believe-
there, then perfect. We
I
don't
believe
need to
that's
go
a
farther.
that's a
into that. I see
great
what we
way. Yeah, I think that's one way to greatly go to it, as well as like maybe specific. Like there's so many ways we can do that, but primarily it's going to be to get to the content specifically. Okay, sweet.
Okay, perfect.
Nice.
Yeah, less notes. I like that.
Yeah, we got 10 minutes in that last time you said we were going off, so I don't want to have the video die with you dying.
It might not record on my side.
Yep, I know what I have to do. Exactly, I know what I have to do, and I know what I've got to complete, and I can even work on those words while I'm at the beach reading my book, so that's not hard.
Hell yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I love you, bro. I've got to save this, and I get to go see what it looks like I get to see if I can hear you, or maybe I can't hear me this time. Let's find out.
Yeah.
Sweet. Let's go, man. Let's keep crushing it. If he is a scam, fucking use that motivator for Caleb to like, what the fuck, man? We can't let people do this. What are we doing? He'll fucking go deep. Like, he wants to talk to people. Let's give him a reason to be, really need to.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there was that super low battery. Later on, brother.
But